What's going on, everybody? We are back. It feels like we've been gone by 2-3 weeks, almost a month maybe. It feels like we've been gone that long, but we're back with a new episode of Fandom Talk presented by Fandoms Anonymous. We got a few things to talk about this week, some big, some small, some aggravating. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. I got my man, Kevin Garlington from Hustler Photography. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, what's happening? What's up?
All right. I got my man, Jeremy Branch from Be Terrible Productions. What's going on, Jeremy?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Glad to be back. Yeah, it does feel like it's been a while, but I think we only missed a week, honestly.
Yeah, it feels like multiple. It felt like a minute. But let's go ahead and jump. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. One of the first things we want to talk about, I did say there was some aggravating news, so let's go ahead and discuss it. They came out and said, gave the synopsis for Xmen Dark Phoenix. They announced that the cast that we saw in Apocalypse will be coming back. So that includes our Jennifer Lawrence. I almost said Jennifer Garner. that includes Jennifer Lawrence, McAvoy, Fassbender, Alexandra Shipp, all of those characters that we saw in Apocalypse are coming back. So one of the things that I saw about this was that the fact that they're bringing Jennifer Lawrence back. Now, she doesn't need to be in these movies anymore because she does not need to be in these movies anymore because it comes off like she really doesn't want to be there. I mean, I guess I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like that, but it comes off as if she does not want to be there. It comes off like she's just an extra character or a downloadable content from a video game. So it's like, in order to watch this movie, you have to pay $39.99 to add Jennifer Lawrence, who really doesn't want to be there. So, Jeremy, what's your thoughts about Jennifer Lawrence? And well, the topic is about X-Men Dark Phoenix, but I feel like we're just going to divert away from that because of the fact that they're bringing Jennifer Lawrence back. What's your thoughts, Jeremy, on just the whole thing?
I don't know why you guys are so salty about this. Like, it's a fantastic cast. The only person that I worry about is, yeah, you nailed it, man. Jennifer Lawrence does feel like she's cashing a paycheck, and they decided to start to work the stories around her, which is never a good idea. You could feel it in X-Men Days of Future Past, and then even worse in Apocalypse, where it was like, this wasn't her franchise before, but now, no, to tell you the truth, she does it in First Class, too. She's like, we're the X-Men or some, I don't know. So, yeah, that could be bad, but maybe they'll play it down, and maybe they'll let Sophie Turner, get a chance to be the lead character. Obviously, in a Phoenix movie, she better be, But, yeah, I mean, that's about it. I love the cast.
I remember her saying that quippy line. I thought it was horrible. And it was cheesy. It was like, we're the X-Men. It was like, no, you're never supposed to say that.
Yeah.
You never. I haven't seen one superhero movie or television show where they call out who they are. Like, when you watch Arrow, they're not always calling him Green Arrow. They call him Oliver. They call him Bear. The only people that call the group or the team name is regular people walking down the street. Hey, did you see the X-Men saved us? You never hear Wolverine saying, the X-Men, we're about to go down to this building. No, you don't hear that. Another thing they said was they had Jessica Chastain in talks to pay Lilandra. Now, I don't know who Jessica Chastain is. Let me look real quick.
She's great. I don't know who Lilandra is.
Now, Kevin is definitely going to be able. No, hold on, Kevin. I got to look and see who Jessica Chastain is before we go forward.
Well, I just didn't want the listeners to think I had hung up. I'm here. I'm just being quiet for a reason.
First, excuse me, y'all know I'm not a real deal cusser. I'm not. But I'm looking at Jessica Chastain now, and I wish in hell that they would cast this woman as Lilandra.
Yeah.
No. Okay, Lilandra. If you watch the X-Men series, which overall to me is the best dissertation, connotation, form of X-Men period that I've ever seen, this woman have a darker complexion. Okay? she almost comes off Egyptian-like. I mean, Kevin, am I right or wrong?
Go ahead. Make your point. Go ahead.
All right.
Let me see where you're going, because you might be on.
She has a different texture, and, I mean, there's only so much spraying you could do to bronze somebody. I mean, we saw Wonder Woman, they bronzed her up a little bit, or whatnot, but I don't know. Kevin, I'm going to let you have it now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So let me go back to my homeboy, Jeremy said he didn't know who Lilandra was, okay? This news that they just put out here, the most exciting thing about this is the fact that they're trying to bring on the Shi'Ar Empire, which is an alien race, very powerful race that is out there in the Marvel galaxy, okay? They would be on par with what they try to do with the Sovereign, if you will, except for, these people actually fight, and they have superpowers, and they have their own team of superheroes, if you will, that kind of guard or work for the king or queen or whoever. Okay, Lilandra is a character that she's a telepath, and she's the queen of the Shi'Ar Empire. The Shi'ar Empire, they have a bird-like ancestry, if you will, so they have feathers. Okay, if you really look at them. Now, not all the time on a cartoon do they show her with feathers. I will tell you that Jessica Chastain, while she is a bit pale or whatnot, she's a beautiful woman, and she has the cheekbone structure to play this character. Now, it's going to require some makeup, but anybody would have to be in makeup to play this woman who is an alien, if you will, a beautiful alien, but an alien nonetheless. Angelina Jolie was the other person they talked about, and Angelina Jolie looks extremely like what you think the person would look like.
I can see that.
And what you want to do is you want to look at Maleficent. If you look at her in Maleficent, she had wings. I know she had the horns, which Lilandra doesn't have horns, but if you really just look at her cheekbone structure, look at her face, and look at her in Maleficent, just put your fingers over the horns and you see Lilandra. That's pretty much what it is. The reason why you want the caliber actress of Angelina Jolie or Jessica Chastain is because the way the story typically goes, this person's going to interact a lot with James McAvoy. This is somebody he fell in love with, and she loved him back. Now, she may be the villain of this movie because she's going to be after Dark Phoenix, which is Dark Phoenix should be inside of Jean should become the Dark Phoenix, so you may not get that love story. And I don't think you will. And this is why I'm not excited about this film. Number one, the whole cast is coming back, which means all my young Xmen, all my young actors, my Alexandra Shipp, my guy that plays Cyclops, my Sophie Turner, which like you're saying, she should be the lead here, Nightcrawler, all these guys, they're going to be second fiddle to McAvoy, Fassbender, and Lawrence. Okay? The Charles and Magneto dynamic should be over with. Okay? And I haven't seen this film, and it could be for all that I know. But I know at the end of Apocalypse, Charles and Eric are having the same conversation they have in the very first X-Men when they're playing chess.
No doubt.
That should be the end of that arc. I don't need to see Professor X with Magneto with Jennifer, Lawrence all the time. I'm ready for McAvoy to go on and do what needed to be done, which I thought was a good thing about the end of Apocalypse was they sent the X-Men in the direction they needed to go. Charles didn't want them to fight. He wasn't sure about the school and all that or whatever, what it needed to be. At the end of that movie, he had a danger room. He had a team of X-Men training, and he knew what he needed to do. To me, that motion set everything off where it needed to go. I don't know if there's much you can do with Magneto and him coming back. Now, because I love the X-Men or whatever, I'll tell you my idea. They need to be on Asteroid M. I think the only thing Magneto can do at this point is leave Earth and create his Asteroid M. The X-Men go up there. Phoenix Force finds Jean. They go back to Earth. There you go. Jennifer Lawrence has no place on the cosmic scheme of things. Her power set isn't important enough. She isn't powerful enough, and she shouldn't have anything to do with this. Anything. None. The only thing I want to see her do is come back and die in this movie.
Oh. Well then. just to play the other side of that, what if Mystique and Magneto are forming the Brotherhood on the other side and going away from the – I know that they did it in Ratner's third movie with the Brotherhood, but, like, they've already retconned that crap. So I think they have the freedom to do it, and maybe Magneto becomes the Magneto that we start to know from the comic books, and maybe Mystique goes and joins that side, and they do something to either incite the incident that brings Lilandra here or something like that where they're involved with the villain this time around.
I think that would, and this is the other part that scares me about this movie. Simon Kinberg is writing and directing.
Yeah.
Now listen, Simon Kinberg he's a company guy. He's over there at Fox. He's been in the room when they came up with the stuff for Apocalypse. He wrote the script for that. He's been a producer. He went in and actually finished filming that garbage Fantastic Four movie. Now, I'm not blaming him for that because he was just trying to save the studio behind. But he's a company guy. He's not the guy that's going to tell Bryan Singer, your Apocalypse looks like crap, you need to redo it. And I got the power of the studio behind me. He's not that guy. He's going to go in there, and Fox is going to tell him what they want, i.e. Jennifer Lawrence in another film, and he's going to write her in the movie. And that's what he did. And I have no faith in him. I don't like his dialogue. His dialogue is crap. And by the way, when you were talking about people saying that we're the X-Men or whatever, every movie that he's written, every X-Men movie that he's written, they said it at some point in the movie.
Fantastic Four
at
the very end when they're all standing around in their little base in Fantastic Four, they're like, what should we call ourselves? The Fantastic Four. And you're like, oh, God.
Oh, God. Right.
Cheesy moment.
Right. And my thing is, I like him as the story guy. I like him in the room helping map out where we're going. I think you should leave the writing to other people. This is his first time in the director's chair. He's been around the movie industry as far as his own feature film. I know he probably can do it, but it doesn't make me feel good that he's doing it. So I'm going to tell you guys this. Unless they're killing Jennifer Lawrence and the Shi'Ar Empire is coming in wide open, and your theory behind what could happen in this movie, Jeremy, is not bad. It's just the point of we've kind of seen that before from Magneto. And when you're talking about the Shi'Ar Empire, you're bringing in extremely powerful, cosmic, Marvel people into this universe. And unless, Magneto has a place because he's pretty powerful. What the hell is Mystique going to do when Gladiator and the rest of the Imperial Guard show up for the Shi'Ar Empire?
Man, she's going to die. She needs to die. She's going to die. Because she has no cosmic power. She has no photon blaster. She has no magic. She has nothing. But what she gonna do? Change? What she gonna do? Right. What she gonna do? She better change to a coat hanger or something and be like, oh, I dropped this instead of talking about something. Instead of trying to come out fighting somebody.
I'll make one last point and I'll get off this. But Jeremy, I just want to tell you, like, the leader of the Imperial Guard is a guy that I cannot wait to see. Gladiator. I cannot wait to see this guy. He has a mohawk. He kind of looks like Yondu.
Take Yondu and put him on. Take Yondu and put on 200 pounds, and then it's all muscle. There you go.
And the thing, what makes me laugh is this guy took the Juggernaut by the wrist and threw him across the ocean. Jennifer Lawrence has no place fighting these people. Yeah, that actually happened. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot when the trailers come out, but I can just tell you I'm not excited. So I'll hop off my soapbox. I'm sorry I kind of commandeered the podcast, but it just pissed me off.
I knew that's what we was waiting on. That's why we let you go last, but we knew you was gonna come in here and tell through it. Jeremy, you got any more thoughts on this X-Men movie?
Just to wrap it up, all I got to say is I haven't really liked any of the X-Men movies up to this point. I think that First Class was the best out of the lot, but a lot of people like Days of Future Past. But I would still like to see him nail an X-Men movie post-Logan, but, there's a lot of really valid points about Simon Kinberg, so we'll just see what happens.
And just to touch on what you said, the only X-Men movie I've liked is First Class. The only one I've liked after that is Apocalypse in the last 15 minutes when you saw the Xmen in the data room. Everything else, you can scrap it. So we'll go ahead and move on. We're going to move on to one of our next topics. We lost a great titan in our superhero universe. We lost Adam West, or as we like to call him, Mayor Adam West. He passed away. He was 88 years old, lived a great long life, was still working, still doing things. And, he's definitely going to be missed. His Batman series from back in the day, it was just starting to gain some traction. They did a new comic run on it. They put it all out on DVD and Blu-ray. Because, it was that weird psychedelic black Batman, holy smokes Batman and all of that, So, Kevin, what's your thoughts on Adam West?
I think the guy was a phenomenal actor. He had probably one of the best senses of humor in the business. And if you ever read about him, you know that, he was getting typecast kind of and kind of went broke for a while and had this resurgence. But while we love that original Batman show, I want to talk about Family Guy for a moment and just say that he was with the show since the beginning, cancellation, and he came back. And if you ever watch the show and see the mayor on there, he doesn't do one serious thing in 15 seasons of that show. And the fact that you got this guy coming in, recording these lines, and very happy to do it, by the way, and having fun with it, it just shows that, he was a guy that didn't take himself too serious, but he had a great sense of humor, so he will be sorely missed. Sorely missed.
Jeremy, what about you?
Yeah, I'm not going to say, first of all, he was 89 years old, lived a long, fulfilling life, kind of like Roger Moore we were talking about the other day. I didn't realize that he went broke at some time. That's kind of a shame because, in a way, and you said he's a titan, and that's exactly right. He is the grandfather. I mean, him and Stan Lee are the grandfathers of this whole culture. And even though I wasn't an avid watcher of the 1960s Batman, I'm not really familiar with it. I totally agree with everything Kevin said about Family Guy. And, his legacy will obviously live on forever. So that's one thing positive that you just know off the bat. He really did become such a cultural icon. So, yeah, it's a shame he's gone. Shame he won't be contributing to Family Guy and all those hilarious lines, like you said. But at the same time, there's 20 seasons of Family Guy or whatever to go back and watch. A bunch of Batman the movie that came out in the 60s, and then like Malcolm, you had mentioned, even the new animated movies that he had been in.
Most definitely. So, guys, before we move on, we always like to let you guys know what else that we have going on in our different organizations and communities. So, Kevin, what's going on at Hubster Photography?
Well, over at Hubster, man, I'm just taking pictures, having fun with the cosplay community. Things have been going really well. I just did a nighttime Black Widow shoot, and I have some Xmen stuff coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So I'll make sure to get those posted when they come out. But the thing I'm most excited to talk about is I'll let Jeremy do the honors, but we got a new show that we're doing, and it's over on Be Terrible, so I won't steal his thunder, but I'm excited.
Well, yeah, it's been great. We are doing kind of a horror movie club over there where we discuss horror movies that are streaming weekly. We did Starry Eyes on the first episode. Second episode was Clown. That one was a lot of fun. And this week we're going to watch The Invitation. Oh, God, this is so cheesy. We're going to invite you to watch The Invitation with us. Yikes. That's all I had off the top of my head. But, yeah, head over and check it out. It's on Be Terrible Movies on YouTube, and we typically will share a link on Facebook so you can check it out over there. And, yeah, that's about it. Also head over and check out the Facebook page, Be Terrible Movies, Be Terrible Production, and then Jeremy Be Terrible on Twitter and Instagram.
Most definitely. We're going to move on to we're going to move on to our next topic. We're going to talk about some news that Tom Holland came out with, and it was during an interview. And we all collectively watched Collider, and what they said about this interview, and it made a lot of sense. So Tom Holland was doing the interview and he let it slip, or he not necessarily let it slip, because if it was said, it was said. So he said it, that, you know, they were looking at Homecoming to be a trilogy, you know. But what we know as far as the Marvel and Sony contract, that Homecoming 2 is the last movie. So it makes you wonder, what are they going to do moving forward? One of the points that was mentioned when it comes to that is, you know, when celebrities are out promoting something, they tend to, in a sense, they get tired of having to say the same stuff about the same thing all the time, and sometimes they get other questions and they give those answers to those questions. So, Jeremy, I'm gonna start with you, and then we're gonna move to Kevin. What do you think about the Tom Holland coming out saying that Spider-Man is going to be a trilogy?
You know, on one hand, I think that exactly what you said, he probably was just, you know, venturing off into something a little bit more interesting, something that he knew people would get excited to hear. On the other hand, and this is just my conspiracy theory thinking, and there's no validity to this, no information that would lead me to believe this, but what if he's kind of using it as a bargaining chip to stay, you know, the course of what's going on, instead of getting pulled into another direction, like let Marvel see their trilogy through before Sony's able to do anything with them and renegotiate contracts and all of that stuff. That's something that crossed my mind. But I would love to see, well, I'd love to see 3. I loved Spider-Man in Civil War. I like everything I've seen from this new Spider-Man Homecoming. But that said, it's really easy to cut together a 2.5-minute sizzle reel of the best scenes of a movie. So I don't know that I'm going to love it yet. It's very possible that it could be bad. It's as possible it could be bad as it could be good by the history of Spider-Man movies. So hopefully it's good. And if it is, heck yeah, keep Tom Holland on. You know, they signed him for longevity. I think it's funny that he said we'll see what's up with Peter Parker after he gets done with puberty or something like that.
Most definitely. Kevin, what's your thought?
Well, on this very show a few months ago, we talked about the contract and what it could be. And basically, the way this shook down from the news that we had at the time was that the way his contract was structured, he would only have one movie with Sony before it would be time to renegotiate. Hearing that they're trying to make this thing a trilogy isn't a surprise at all, because for all we know, Civil War was the first film. You could do, he's going to be in Infinity War, you know, so that's number 2. He could still do a Homecoming trilogy, and that would take him up to 5, and he would still owe Sony that 6th movie. He signed up for 6 movies, for what I understand.
Oh, wow.
Or the initial standpoint. So him talking about this trilogy isn't really news to me, and it seems like the whole world has gotten amnesia as to what happened when all this stuff broke a few months ago. But it was already put out. Now, what they could, and the deciding factor could be, hey, is he going to be in whatever the Avengers movie is going to be after Infinity War? Because that would be his 3rd movie, and then he would do the other, you know, the sequels, and that would take him to 6. So it could be that the bargaining thing they're trying to do here is say, hey, I can do all my 6 movies over here with the MCU, and we not do a standalone Spider-Man movie over at Sony. But from the news that we had before, he was already locked in for 6 movies, and there was only one movie in question, what they were going to do after he did 5 movies over at Marvel. So, again, maybe that was misinformation that was put out or whatever, but it was to me, like I said, it was from the press conference where the lady over at Sony was talking. So I don't see where this is big news or this is surprising anybody, but okay.
I totally forgot about that, dude.
I think the difference is that we knew he was signed for multiple movies, but it's the phrasing of it being a Homecoming trilogy. Sure. Because all we heard is movie Homecoming 1, Homecoming 2. We haven't heard nothing about 3, but we knew he was signed on for multiple movies. So with you saying that, I think to me, that's what makes a difference. That it came out and he said, well, we got a Homecoming trilogy. I mean, you understand? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I see what you're saying, and I know our community. Like, you change one word in something, and we get all excited or whatever. So I just don't think it's news either way. But that's just my opinion. You know, we got to talk about it, so it's cool.
All right, guys, we're going to jump on to our last topic for the evening. It's a very, very, very exciting topic. Very, very, very exciting. I'm so excited. I'm going to let Kevin introduce this topic.
All right, folks. So during the NBA Finals, everybody in the world saw it. Black Panther put out what they're calling a teaser, but it was 2 minutes. I think it's a trailer myself.
No doubt.
Minute 53.
So at the end of the day, the world is excited at this point right now because we're stepping into another side of the MCU that we haven't seen before, and that is the mystical, if you will, city of Wakanda. Okay? Inside the MCU, it is the richest and the most technologically advanced city on Earth. It's hidden. Not anybody can just get to it. And the Black Panther is there, and also the world supply of vibranium is there as well. So there's a lot of history, a lot of story that goes on there. Black Panther is not necessarily, well, in the last few years here, he's definitely grown in popularity, especially with the release of Civil War. But he's a character that's been around for a very long time, but he hasn't been as popular. But the things they've done to this character in Marvel Comics, it's kind of eye-opening for some people. As smart as, if not smarter than a lot of your geniuses on the planet. Richard and Tony Stark. There's a lot. Some people like to call him Marvel's Batman, if you will. So but great character, a lot of rich history, and the film is shaping up to be star-studded and it's well casted. So we'll see what happens. So I'll turn it over to Jeremy first because Malcolm's about to explode. I'm gonna make him wait a little while.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I dig it. I know. I really liked how it starts off with Claw talking to I don't know what his name is, something Ross.
Everett Ross.
What Ross is he?
Everett Ross.
Everett. Okay, yeah. So he's talking to Everett Ross, and I guess somehow Claw's able to see through the double-sided mirror because he's like, I see you, and then he starts laughing. Am I to think that he was able to somehow see through that two-sided glass?
It happened just like you said it, and I'm going to say this about Claw. You got to remember, you don't know what type of enhancements or what type of tech he put inside himself at this point.
Okay.
See him with his trademark arm or claw, but also we haven't seen the movie to know if he know, or if he was just talking BS or whatever. Because at that one particular point, you know how they kind of zoom in on Everett Ross and he looks surprised. That's him acting. Everett Ross in the comic books and everything else knows full on what Wakanda's got going on over there. So I think he was trying to act and kind of put on to look a little surprised, and also to try to help Wakanda keep that mysticism, if you will. Because if he didn't look surprised, then he would know something else was up. So, but we can talk about that later. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was kind of curious about. And then one thing. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I mean because one thing, another way you can look at it was you got Gollum and a Hobbit sitting there looking at each other.
Yeah. That's so great. No doubt. But yeah, so I was invested in it immediately. You recognize both those characters right off from Avengers, Age of Ultron, and then from Civil War. And then you get to see Wakanda, and it's this really cool looking mix of kind of tribal looking old school African culture stuff, and then this crazy almost space age tech, which is really dope to see the concept design and the artwork of it. I think is really cool. And then we also start to see this new color palette of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was real prevalent in Guardians of the Galaxy. We started to see it in the Thor Ragnarok trailers, and then now we're seeing it in Black Panther, and I think it's really interesting. They use these really bold, vibrant, different colors, and I think that sets them way apart from other movies, Yep. So that's really cool. And then I also think it's great. They throw in, the classic 808, the old school bass when it's hitting. It's just super low, and it's fantastic. And, I just really liked it. I think it looks really good. I was not super impressed with the little poster that came out beforehand, but that the next day we got the trailer, so that definitely more than made up for it. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
All right. Y'all don't know how I was waiting on this trailer all day like Christmas was coming. Once I saw that post that morning, it said the trailer was coming out. I was like, oh, it's Christmas. Santa Claus is bringing me a beautiful present. I'm ready for this trailer. I was at work, and while we was at work, we had the game on, and I was just eyeing the TV all night, just looking at the TV. I'm like, yeah, that trailer's going to come sooner or later. It's going to come sooner or later. And I looked at the TV once, and I put myself in break, and I saw the Marvel Studios logo, and I hauled slack to the trailer. Everybody was like, what's wrong? Where you going? I was like, hush, be silent. The trailer's on. So this trailer was everything and then some. This movie is going to be so massive, so grandiose. It's going to be so big, it's not even funny. This movie is going to really set the Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe apart. Jeremy always says that I have a good sandwich reference, and I haven't had one in a while.
I was about to ask you, dude. That is so great.
let's paint a picture. You know, Kevin Feige is sitting at home. He's seeing all the Wonder Woman rave reviews. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. Goes in his kitchen, gets him 2 slices of bread and a little mustard and mayonnaise. Get the pickles and the tomatoes out. Not even just regular tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes. Nice big tomatoes.
Fancy tomatoes.
Get some ham, fancy. Some ham and roast beef. You know, a little relish here, a little pickle there, and sits down and he makes the phone call. He's like, hey, you guys saw that Wonder Woman news? The exec's like, yeah, we saw it, man. What are we gonna do? Drop the Black Panther trailer. That was it.
No doubt.
Wonder Woman was the praise for almost 2 weeks. And when this Black Panther trailer came out, it was like Wonder Woman was no more Wonder in Wonder Woman. She was just a woman. This trailer, this movie, is gonna be so epic. It's gonna be so epic. Like it said a teaser, but it said teaser trailer. But when we see teaser trailers, we get like 50 seconds, a minute. This was 1 minute and 53. 1:53, almost 2 minutes of great footage, great tie-ins. And one of the new jokes that's going around is how many Human Torches does Marvel Cinematic Universe gonna have to stage? We already got Chris Evans, and now we got my man Michael B. Jordan. So it's just epic, man. You've guys haven't seen my part 1 and part 2 of my reaction. Check out my reaction. I mean, they like Kevin said, just an all-star cast. And we see the cast, we see the actors, but when we dig down to the bottom, let's real quick, and I'm gonna drop off my soapbox. The costume designer, her name is Ruth Carter. I didn't know this until I did a little research and heard a video the other day talk about what other movies that she has done costume on. She did costume designs for Malcolm X. She did costume designs for the Amistad movie. And she did costume designs for Selma. So we know that this is a prevalent African-American featured movie. So to get somebody who has been in that world of African-American centric movies, and it's like Marvel goes and they go out and get the all-stars. They don't go get the people that play on the bench for the basketball team. They go get Allen Iverson. They go get Michael Jordan, Kobe, and Shaq. You know, they don't go get Gary Payton. I mean, he cool, but he ain't all that good. You know. So, I mean, that's just me, man. I'm gonna drop off my soapbox. Y'all got anything else on Black Panther?
I'll jump in there for a second just to say that just for scope's sake, and to say that this movie, you know, while it culturally will be important or whatnot, that aside, which isn't a small thing at all, but just talking about the MCU, this is our setup, if you will, for Infinity War. This is that last movie you get before you jump in the deep end. Now, 2 ways to look at this. We know we got Ragnarok coming. Ragnarok is going to set up cosmically what's going on. this movie will set up on Earth what's going to happen. If you saw the pictures from the set of Infinity War, they were in Wakanda. And if you've ever seen the animated Avengers film, Avengers 2, that takes place in Wakanda. Okay? We don't know what the story for this Infinity War movie is going to be, but we know this. We know they're sitting on a mountain of vibranium out there, and Bucky is frozen there. And whatever is going to happen, I'm pretty sure Black Panther is going to be a part of it. And one of the things I'm most excited to see is the mountain people of Wakanda, which follow the white gorilla, which is my boy M'Baku, which is the man-ape from Marvel Comics, who's been around since the 70s. And he was in the trailer. And he is in it, and he's been confirmed for Infinity War. So whatever's going on around in Wakanda is going to spill over into this Infinity War thing. And I think it's kind of awesome to see those movies kind of intertwine like that and kind of jump into that Earth conflict going into the cosmic conflict. So that's all I got for Black Panther.
Real quick, am I to understand that Captain Marvel's coming out post Infinity War?
That's
Captain
correct.
Marvel is your first movie post Infinity War. Yep.
Interesting. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I think it's funny. I was watching a Jeremy Johns reaction earlier, and he said that Man-Ape was a stupid name, and that it kind of got my gears turning in my head, and I was like, yet Spider-Man is not a stupid name. So if you call him Ape Man instead of Man-Ape, it's less stupid, I guess. So, yeah, observations.
I think they were trying to get away from that whole, because you got Black Panther, and you don't want to say white ape or white gorilla or whatever.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it kind of gets crazy. And also too, let's just keep it real. Back in the day when they were creating these characters, I mean, some of the worst names ever were created like in the 60s going into the 70s. You know what I mean? Just as a whole, it was so much LSD and drugs being passed around the office. You know what I'm saying? They came up with some crap. Back then. So yeah, I kind of agree. It is kind of a stupid name, but I guarantee you, when you see him lift a man off the ground by the back of his neck with one hand, it won't be so stupid then. You know?
He's huge, dude.
He's huge.
He's coming through that thing.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready. So.
Man, guys, we definitely appreciate you guys joining us today on this new episode of Fandom Talk. Glad we're back. We're going to definitely get the schedule back going like we had it. Guys, thank you for everything that you've done in regards to Fandoms Anonymous. We are over 200 subscribers, and we're headed for more and more and more. Got new episodes of Gaming Nation up where we talked about E3 with my man Dan and James out of Iowa, with my man Daryl out of Mobile, home city, and my boy Clay from Tales of the Blade. So check that out on the Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel. Got a lot more stuff coming up, a whole lot more stuff coming up. Oh, Kevin, where can they find you at, man?
Hey, you can find me on Facebook at Kevin Garlington or Facebook.com/HubsterPicks or Instagram at HubsterPicks.
Jeremy from Be Terrible Productions, where can they find you at?
Just Jeremy Be Terrible over on Twitter and Instagram. Check out Be Terrible Movies on YouTube, of course, where we are posting a weekly video for the Horrible Horror Movie Club. Also, new episode of Movie Monsters drops tomorrow, so you guys make sure to head over and check that out. And I appreciate you guys having me on.
Awesome. Guys, if you don't know who we are, we're Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMSANONYMOUS all over social media. Don't forget to follow us here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for future notifications for videos. Head over to Facebook where we're on Facebook and join the Facebook group for discussions, and hit the like on the Facebook fan page. Go over there to Instagram where we're at Fandom_Anonymous17, and go over there to Twitter where we're at Anonymous_Fan17. But guys, as I always say, if there is anything else, thanks for watching and have a good one.
Fandoms Anonymous.